Hello and welcome back to the Doctor's Garage. So in this video today, you join me for part 3 of the security modifications that I'm doing to my Land Rover Defender here on YouTube. Now this last piece is again from Optimil, and this I honestly think is one of the nicest cosmetic modifications you can do to the exterior of your Defender, and also one of the best security ones too. So let's get fitting. So this is the current door handle. As you can see, it's a standard Defender plastic handle, has a button that presses in, and you can see that small amount of corrosion as well behind the handle itself. So I'm going to be taking that out, and if you look on the inside, how that's fitted essentially is a small screw just here, which is slightly rusted, and then another screw there that's rusted as well. And the easiest way actually to do that, if you want to get a screwdriver or anything to get to that, is to drill a small hole through there. And you'll find that actually those rusted points will probably need drilling out. But I've certainly seen better days as far as door handles go, and I'd like to probably respray and try to sort out some of that paintwork underneath this handle as well. In comparison, the Optimil stuff is so nice, and this door handle is no exception. This is a one-piece aluminium, it's got the button press, and you can see this is how it's going to fit on my door. Now, I haven't gone for the lock in this new handle because I have central locking, so if the worst case scenario, central locking runs out, the battery runs out, I can get in through the boot and the back door. But I think it looks a lot cleaner, but also it's a bit more secure because this lock can be picked quite easily. And with this, there's nothing to pick. But you can see all the brand new components are so nice compared to on the inside of my door, the really rusty old ones. Trying with quite a big Phillips head screwdriver, and you can see when I'm in there, it literally doesn't turn at all. You can barely even get a good grip actually. It's so corroded, both of the screws. So I am going to drill them out and make a hole straight through this portion of the bodywork on the inside of the door, just a very small hole so I can get straight through onto that screw there. Drill both those out, undo this little mechanism here, which holds the door handle onto the opening mechanism of the door, and that should be a good start. This is where making that new hole. Now you can see straight through there to the screw, and I'm going to drill that screw out and drill that screw out as well, because there's no way I'm getting any tool to get them out. For some reason, they just corrode really badly, the door handle screws. That is the first one, come off very well on the end of my drill there, so freed that one. That is the second one come off as well. So now what we can do is just undo this little mechanism. Looking at the mechanics of a door handle, you've got this bit which is off the exterior handle, and then this little bar that goes up and goes that way just hooks into this part here. You want to unhook that, and then the new door handle, it just hooks straight back into. So it's very simple. And to unhook that, it's got a little retaining clip. You need to put a little flat-headed screwdriver in, and you can just free that up. Taking that off, and now this can literally just come out like that, and you're done. So that is completely out now. I'm going to grab that retaining clip from inside my door. So we've taken this top one off, as you can see just there, but you've also got this one as well onto the handle mechanism, and this is a little retaining clip that's onto that one. This is what holds the original key lock, and on my new mechanism I'm not having a key lock, so this bar will be useless and won't be used. But if you do put another key lock in, you want to make sure this bar is also connected to your new lock. So you've got one here and the other that I've just taken off there. So this is that little retaining clip now pulled off, which has fallen down, and then now that bar comes out, and now the door handle can be removed from the door. So literally just comes out very carefully, and the door handle is out right here. And you can see it's definitely seen better days mechanism wise, and just generally feels so much cheaper compared to the new Optimil gear. That little retaining clip that I'm going to need when I put the new lock on, and this just makes sure that mechanism stays together and holds together well. So when you close the door, you can see now it's pretty messy actually where it was, and I could just obviously put the new exterior handle over that, but I'm going to sort this out because I think this is going to get worse over time. So I'm going to get rid of some of this rust. I'm going to respray some of this door just on the insides with a bit of a rattle can, and just mean that rust won't spread from here, and it will just look a lot neater when I put the new handle over the top. It's useful now just to spend some time taking a look at how well engineered these Optimil door handles are. I think Optimil make a lot of different parts, but for me, these are the most premium parts they make. That button feels so nice compared to the old plastic mechanism you've got here that just feels so much cheaper. even getting hold of this feels so much better. And just as an aftermarket part, it really doesn't get much better than this in regards to quality of production. So I'm really pleased with that and looking forward to seeing what that's like on my Defender. The first thing we're going to do is I've just taken off some of that loose rust. I'm going to use a little bit of rust converter just to get rid of that rust around there, and then I'm going to spray it and seal it all in so it can't creep back through. I'm sure people watching this are going to have more advice for me about that. But that's what I'm going to do, and it's worked on stuff I've done previously, but I'm sure there's probably a better way to stop that creeping. If there is, let me know in the comments below. I'm interested always to learn different ways to do things. The tip when you're doing this job is to put something in the door catch so you can't mistakenly shut the door and not be able to open it again. That doesn't work very well, has it? Saying something a little bit better so you can't shut the door and don't get locked out, because I'm also going to be applying some rust converter to the inside, spraying some ACF 50 on all of these areas just to make them a little bit nicer and also prevent the everlasting battle of rust stopping on my Defender. This Hammerite crust, you see I've put it on there, and already you can see that rust is coming off. It's going purple, which means it's converting it, which is a pretty good way, I think, just to get rid of that surface rust quite quickly. And then I'm going to spray over this area too with a colour match for Keswick Green on my Defender. As always, anything I use in my videos is available in the description below. Favourite products while that rust is curing and converting that rust is ACF 50. So I use this pretty much everywhere on my Defender. Again, description below if you want to buy something like this. And I'm going to use it in all of the joints here, all in the bottom of the door as well, because that's a part that rusts out on these cars. So everywhere really that I think rust might occur, I'm going to spray with ACF 50, and I do that pretty much everywhere on my Defender. To spray my car, I've got some colour matched Keswick Green spray paint, and I'm going to be using this to cover those little areas around the door. Found the box your optimal handle comes in makes for quite a good template, because you can use that little gap there and place it just over the rust areas and give little shots of spray as you go round, or you can just really carefully spray that whilst masking off the rest of your bodywork so nothing gets covered in green that you don't want it to. That little hole there to spray around it, as you can see. Now, I know that isn't the best job you've ever seen, but when it dries it'll look all right. And actually, you've got to remember, you're going to have the handle and the gasket over this area, so it doesn't have to be the most perfect job. So I'm going to leave that to dry, probably put another coat on it as well, and give it a good 24 hours for that to cure before then starting the next phase. Worth as well as spraying that side, I also spray on the inside because there's quite a lot of rust around these holes. So spraying it, I think, just seals that in and stops any further rust creep. Well, at least I hope it does. Spray paint mix I got off eBay. I think there's a seller that actually does loads of different colours for your Land Rover. You can choose which one you want, so I'll put that in the description below too. See, when I took the door cards off the front, I've put some silent coat on here, which has made a difference, and also put some Dodo matting that I had left over. So it's not a lot, but it's some, and you can hear already it sounds really dull, so it's definitely worked, which I'm pleased of. And at the same time, you can see that completely soaked in ACF 50 now. Just hopefully penetrating it and getting in, and we're waiting for that paint to dry, and then we shall begin the next phase of the fit. This is that gasket I was talking about that goes between the door handle and the bodywork of the cars. This is what we need to be able to fit the handle and put between the two parts. So paint is now dried around that area, so we can start getting this fitting done. So the rubber gasket goes on like that. It just slides under the little piece of aluminium work there to get a good fit, and then we're going to fit it onto the door. So once you take a sticky film off, you can see that rubber gasket fits just perfectly slid under there. So we've now fitted that. You can see the little screw just there, and then on the other one just there. It's actually put one of those fiddly things to get those screws in, but you can see that is my new handle on. Now this all obviously works, but it's not connected to anything. So now we've got to put that bar back into the new mechanism to get it to work. So it's that one that's just vertical here, into this bar here, and we've got to put that retaining clip back on so it can't pop out in the future. So here is that retaining clip, and this is probably one of the most fiddly bits to do because it's behind inside the door itself. So it can be quite difficult to do, but if you take your time with it, it's not too bad. It's just the access. So that is now in, and you can see when I press the button on the other side, it pulls the handle down. Now I've got to put that retaining clip just to connect them together. If you are doing this for the first time, this is how it goes. So you have this bit that goes over that end cap, and then that bit at the top clicks onto the vertical stem just to hold it on the locking mechanism. So you can see that retaining clip is now on, and so when the door handle moves, it pulls it down, and it's not going to come off now because it's kind of clipped on with that new clip. That is the new handle complete, and it sounds so good when it opens. So really pleased with how that looks. and gives me that extra additional security on my Defender. So that really concludes my third part in my security modifications that I'm doing here on YouTube for my Land Rover Defender. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.